Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I'm Casey, and today this is the multi-strand bracelet that I will be making. The method used to make this bracelet is the exact same method that I used to make both. Most of the components for both of these bracelets came from the July 2022 bargain bead box. And if you are interested in their website, I will have all the information in the description box below. You can head on over to their website and sign up for a subscription. And when you do that, don't forget to use code Casey2. Casey2. And I spell my name a little unique. That's K-A-S-I-2. That'll give you $2 off your first box in the subscription, or if you place an order on their website, it will give you $2 off your first order. Again, that code is Casey2. So if you are curious to see how this bracelet right here came about, then stay tuned. All right, so getting right into it, I will start with the tools that I will be using. I'm going to be using 2 sets of chain nose pliers, my set of cutters, my set of round nose pliers, and my set of crimping pliers. And I want to mention my set of tools. It is called the Casual Comfort set of tools, and it is an incredibly high quality, very well made set of tools. It's pretty much all that I use when I make jewelry, and I make jewelry all the time. I highly recommend them. Biggest thing for me is the adult size grip. As the name suggests, they are very, very comfortable to use. And when I found this set, it's just been a game changer for me. So again, I highly recommend it. But even if you don't get this set, I highly recommend that you invest in your tools. If you make jewelry consistently, it's just a worthwhile investment. And I'm also going to be using 49 strand bead along wire in the color Bright. And I always get 100 feet because I go through it so quickly. And that color Bright is the silver color. And as you can see, I am running low in this particular one, but it's okay because I've already ordered more. But it's that bright silver color. So I've already cut a length of wire. I have approximately, looks like just over 11 inches of wire. I'm going to go through everything that I'm using. So I'm going to be using these melon beads, and I am using one of the white 8mm beads, and I'm going to be using these turquoise faceted rounds. Also, I'll be using these 4mm rondelles, and from the bead box, I will be using these star-shaped bead caps, and I will be using the toggle clasp that came in the bead box. And I love the pattern on this toggle clasp. It really makes the clasp part of the design. And from my own stash, I will be using these flower-shaped bead caps. I will be using these larger round spacer beads. And then all of the findings. So we have jump rings, crimp covers, crimp tubes, and wire guardians. So here is how I start. I have the length of wire, and I put on a crimp tube, jump ring, and wire guardian. Put it through one side, wrap it around, put it through the other. And you want to make sure that jump ring is up in the wire guardian. And then both ends of the wire go through that crimp tube. I'm going to pinch that guardian wire closed with my fingers. And I'm going to pull on that longer end to make the tail a little bit shorter. So now I'm going to hold it separated with my fingers, pull on the longer one to make it nice and snug. I'm going to go in with my crimping pliers to that second groove, give it a good smash, get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go into that first groove, give it another smash. And then I like to go in with that flat part on the end and give it the final smash. And that way it's nice and snug. Then I hold on to that jump ring, get that crimp cover and put it right on top of the smashed crimp tube, and then flip it up. I'm gonna go in with my chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash, and then I'm gonna go front to back, give it another gentle smash, give it that round shape. So there's how we start each strand. So now the order of the beads will be 4mm rondelle, flower bead cap up, and round faceted bead, flower bead cap down. And you want to make sure you tuck in that tail just like that. So now this is the pattern and you're going to repeat this 3 more times. All right, so here it is. And the only thing I added was an extra rondelle on the end, the 4mm rondelle. So now this is one side and we're going to do the center component. This time we're using the bead caps from the box, bead cap facing up, melon bead, bead cap facing down, large round spacer, then the flower bead cap facing up, 8mm round, bead cap facing down, round spacer, bead cap from the box, melon, bead cap facing down. So there is that center component. So now we're going to do exactly what we did over here on this side. That exact same pattern, so we'll meet up at the end. All right, so here's the other side. And now all we have to do is close it off. We'll put on a jump ring, a crimp tube, and a wire guardian. And you want to make sure that jump ring goes up into that wire guardian. And both ends of the wire go through that crimp tube. Pulling that tail a little bit. I'm going to have the first few beads go through that tail, or I'm going to have the tail go through the beads. I'm going to hang on to that jump ring and pull it to where it's a little bit snug. All right, I'm going to take my fingers, pinch that wire guardian closed, pull it where it's a little bit more snug. All right, so now I'm going to hang on to that tail, hang on to the beads, and we'll make sure that I move that bracelet around. You want it snug, but you definitely want flexibility. So move it around, you don't want it too snug. I'm gonna go back in with my crimping pliers. In that second groove, get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go in the first groove, smash it, just like that. Now I'm gonna go in with that flat part at the end and get it nice and snug. I'm gonna hang on to that jump ring, just like this. Take the crimp cover, place it right on top of that smashed crimp tube, and flip it up. Go in with the chain nose pliers, give it a gentle smash. Then I'm gonna go front to back. Give it that round shape, just like that. Now I'm going to take that tail, go with my cutters as close as I can get. I'm going to take that little nub and smash it into that next bead. Just like that. So here is the focal strand. And whenever I make multi-strand bracelets, I usually try to have one focal strand and then smaller strands. So here's the first strand, the focal strand. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so here is the next strand. So as you can see, it is started the same way as we did the first strand. Everything about it is the same, and it is a very simple back and forth. I used the 4mm rondelles, and for my own stash, I used 3mm spacer beads and went all the way across. Closed it off the exact same way. So if you need the reminders for that, you can definitely go back to that first strand. But again, the pattern, very simple, back and forth. So now, if we put the two strands together, they tie in quite nicely. And each strand is right at 7 inches. And then when you put on the clasp, it'll be right at the 7.5, 7 3/4 inch. All right. So now let's put on the clasp. All right, so I'm gonna use the jump ring that's already on it. Take that jump ring, open it, put on the focal strand and one side of that toggle clasp and close that jump ring. Then I'm going to take the other side, open that jump ring, put on that focal strand and the other side of the toggle clasp. Looks like I need to open it just a little bit more. There we go. And close that jump ring. And there you have it. There's the final piece. And there it is. We got the clasp, which again, I love this clasp. I love when different clasps become part of the design and the bracelet. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in this one. This is a different bracelet that I made with this month's bead box, and I love it. And if you follow the same method to make this one, it's the exact same method to make this one. So the pattern, of course, would be like those crackle squares, the crackle cubes rather. So the pattern would be those crackle cubes. Then the 4mm shell looking beads. And then of course I used the lava rocks for this one, the lava plated beads. And so here is the pattern for the whole thing, where I have 3 cubes and then 2 of the lava ones, 1 cube, and then 1 in the center of the lava. And then I have 1, 2, so just like that, then 3 on this end. Now I did add a bicone in the center on either side of the lava, on the center lava bead. And then this, of course, would be the focal strand. And then for this one, again with the simple back and forth, you have that 4mm bead with the spacer, the 3mm spacer, and those bicones, kind of tying those two together. So here's the pattern for this one, and of course the one we made today. So I'm gonna set them up on my display so we can see them better. All right, so here they are. I just absolutely love the way that these turned out. I am a huge fan of multi-strand bracelets. I tend to stack bracelets, or if they're single strand, I'll wear, you know, several. So I like the idea of having several strands in one bracelet. You already kind of have that matching set. You know it's going to go together. I love these two. These are beautiful. Of course, with the clasps, I love that the clasp is part of the design. And again, watching or using the method that we used in the video for this bracelet, you can definitely use the exact same method to make this one. All right, so if you like this video and you want to see other videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind. And I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.